Alright guys, let's go over a few things. This is going to be basically what some people call the 3 secrets of shooting. 1. Sight alignment. 2. Sight picture. 3. Trigger control. Sight alignment is how you line your sights up. Looking through the rear notch, seeing the front sight notch, or front sight, making sure it's equal height and equal light. I'm going to unload real fast. There's nothing in here, nothing in here. Now the weapon is safe. Again, chamber check, magazine check, nothing in there. Sight alignment is going to be this as I show you. You see how the front sight is equal in height in the rear notch and equal in light on either side? That's what you're looking at, sight alignment. So when I'm pointing in, I can see equal height and equal light on either side of the front sight notch. Then there's sight picture. If you're shooting at, say, this portion, you want to hit in the middle. Usually on a Glock XD, a lot of the 1911s, you're going to aim so that you bisect it. You cut it in half. If you were to cut it in half and perfectly come back into place into recoil, you should only see the top half of the bullet hole. The bottom half of the bullet hole should be cut off by your front sight in actuality. Now, that's the second one. I'm aiming for this, that sight picture. My sight alignment is set up so that it's equal height, equal light. Basically, how you see your front sight. And then the third is going to be trigger control. Trigger control is basically demonstrated as such. When you remove the slack and begin actuating the trigger, you build pressure on the trigger until it breaks, and the front sight doesn't move. So when you're pointed in, you build pressure, build pressure, build pressure, and you hear the snap of the trigger breaking, like here. I'm building pressure, I don't know when it's going to go off, I don't know when it's going to go off. There, it went off. But the front of the gun did not move. It didn't waver, it didn't jog, didn't jump, nothing like that. That's trigger control. If you have all three of those, then your pistol shooting is going to be on. It's going to be very hard and very difficult to actually miss. Because if I'm pointed in, I'm finger on the trigger, sight alignment, sight picture, I know what I'm shooting at, I have good alignment, and I have good trigger control where I just press the trigger to the rear until it works. You hear that? Gun doesn't move. I'll do it again. Build pressure until it goes off. Doesn't matter how fast I press it, the front doesn't move. That's trigger control. Now, the 9mm is pretty much going to be flat. Well, you know, to tell you the truth, I don't know what the distance it's going to be flat out to. I know at 15, 25, and 50, I don't have any concern. I can lay it dead nuts right wherever I want. If I put it at the center of the chest, it's going to hit at the center of the chest at 50. Sight alignment, sight picture, trigger control. If you have those three, you have excellent pistol shooting. Now, there's another portion to this, and it's called isometric tension. Gun is still empty. Isometric tension is pushing on the back of the gun and pulling on the front of the gun. Now, the reason why we want isometric tension is because the gun only goes two ways. It only goes back and it only flips up for the most part. Okay. Generally, you're going to have recoil and muzzle flipped. So to control that, if I put the gun in a vise like this, eventually it's going to start turning in that vise. However, if I put it in a vise like this, every time it fires, it's going to go back basically to its original position. Now to do that, I push on the back. I'm going to get my hand high into the tang. You see that right there? There's no gap. There's none of that bullshit. It's here. Get your webbing high into the tang. I'm going to wrap my fingers. However, my fingers are going to remain loose. I'm not grabbing the gun. I'm just wrapping the fingers along because I can't cut them off and put them on later. So I push on the back of it, wrap the fingers. Fingers are again very loose. I'm going to apply full, rearward pressure by my support hand. Support hand is a hand that's not firing the gun. The firing hand is a hand firing the gun. So I push forward, I pull back, and that's basically where my pressure is. You also might be able to see a little light right in there. I don't have a grip on the sides of the gun. A lot of isosceles shooters will shoot with their thumbs canted forward, and they have this beer can crushing grip. Not necessary. I'm going to push forward, pull back. Basically, I only have pressure on my index finger of my support hand and my middle finger of my firing hand. Also notice, I don't do this stupid shit. I don't do this. I don't do, well shit, this. It's push my hand into my hand. I push forward, finger on the trigger, build pressure until you achieve that surprise break. The gun would cycle, reset the trigger, build pressure, reset the trigger,